Welcome to Tech Savvy. My name is Leigh Newman, and we have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Kim Crockett, and she's the Student Success Coordinator for the whole campus, for the campus and for West Georgia Technical College. We're fortunate that her main location, though, is in LaGrange. And my nickname for Kim is Miss Fix-It, because if there's any problems that ever come up, all I have to do is call Kim, and Kim's got the answer, and she knows how to fix it, one way or the other, legal or illegal if necessary. So Kim, thank you so much for being here today. I have learned so much from you in this past 8 months. I am just fascinated. You can fix anything and everything, and you know about financial aid, you know about enrollment, you know about applications, you know about tutoring, you know, the list goes on and on and on. So today I want you to tell our viewers what all you can do at West Georgia Tech that can help a student become successful in their college career. So start by telling me a little bit about your background. How long have you been at West Georgia Tech? And
I've been at West Georgia Tech since 2000, so almost 13 years. I started as a GED teacher, and then I worked my way up. My current job is the Student Success Coordinator for all 5 campuses. My job responsibilities is primarily the tutoring lab and advising students to what courses they should take.
Well, before we get started with all those details, I want you to talk briefly about our past 3 weeks at campus. How have we done? It's been our first 3 weeks of our semester, fall semester. It's our big semester. Tell me about it. Can you summarize it?
The first 3 weeks have been really busy. The phones have been ringing off the hook, trying to get students their financial aid, trying to get students registered for the correct classes. They've had questions about their schedule, how to buy textbooks, and at the advising center we all take those phone calls and send them to the appropriate people to talk with. Our enrollment this semester is up, which is a lot better than some of our sister schools. I think this is because primarily the change with the financial aid. The HOPE grant has gone down to a 2.0 GPA.
That's so the minimum. You got to have a 2.0 in order to qualify for HOPE.
Correct, and it used to be a 3.0. And some other things that have been happening, we've got some new programs. We've got the virtual learning campus now, and we've got the brand new Coweta campus.
Right. Well, that's exciting. I think the HOPE, just to touch on what all HOPE has available now, there's been some other changes that we want to make sure our viewers are aware of besides the 2.0. What else have they changed this year?
Yes, HOPE, not only do they get the HOPE GPA, we do have funds available through the Department of Labor, which if you want to go into the CDL program, there's an additional $1,000 that will go toward tuition. There is an additional $500 if you would like to do early childhood, and an additional $500 if you would like to do, I believe the third program is LPN, practical nursing.
They picked those particular programs because of the high demand that's out there. And truck driving, we just can't emphasize enough about truck driving because there's such a demand for them out there, and it's really a good paying job even to start off with. So that's what we're here for, is to get our students prepared for the real world, and you're part of that process because you want to make sure they learn everything and are ready to get into the real world, right?
Right.
All right, well tell me, let's go through some of the things that you do. It's amazing to me what all you can do, because you start off in the advising center, then you go to the tutoring center, and then you have a class, the College Life 101, that I want to hear about, and I think that the viewers would be very interested in. I mean, you're all over all 5, 6 campuses. It's amazing to me. How do you keep up with these students?
Yes. Primarily my job responsibilities is to making sure that the students get whatever services they need. Talking about as soon as they're registered for classes and they pay the $25 application fee, then they come to the advising center. And at the advising center, we give them a program sequencing plan, which will show them exactly what courses they will take every semester until they graduate. So there's no guessing at what classes to register for. And once the students get registered, then they're able to use any kind of the tutoring services available on all 5 campuses.
Tell me what classes that, what subjects?
We offer tutoring and writing. We have writing labs. We have reading, tutoring. We have math, all the way from basic math to college algebra, and have recently started a statistics class.
Tutoring?
Right. No.
Tutored?
A statistics class, tutoring for the statistics class. Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes. Because most colleges now, they want you to have at least a college algebra, and then the other course is the statistics. It's I think it's Math 1127.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those classes, the upper level degree classes, will transfer to four-year schools.
When does a student recognize the fact that they need tutoring? Tell me that process.
We can take self-referrals from the student, or the teacher acknowledges us by sending a form, and then I contact the students and allow them to attend the tutoring at whatever campus that they need.
Well, tell me who the tutors are. What's their experience? Are they teachers? Are they?
All the tutors are certified either through their campus DIs, or they all have experience teaching. Most of them are instructors that are currently working as adjunct faculty for West Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that to me is one of those major barriers of success for keep students from graduating, is they get far behind and they don't get the help they need and they don't know when to ask for help. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing to me how many people are taking advantage of that tutoring to help them, and they start early on.
Correct.
That's the key.
The tutoring opens about the third week of class,
mm-hmm.
so we automatically encourage the students to start attending around the third week of class, and all the tutoring is free, mm-hmm. and we have various hours, daytime and nighttime hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Isn't there a new program started up, or we're working with, about an early warning system that the instructors are going to?
There's an early alert system that the instructors, if a student makes below a 70 or a 70 or below, it sort of just depends on the class. Some classes, like for instance the nursing classes, they have to have a 75. But if a student makes a grade below that, then a referral will come to me, and then I contact the student either by phone or email, mm-hmm. and set up tutoring for that student.
And if necessary, you'll go out and find that student, say, grab them by the ear and say, you need this tutoring.
We try to.
If necessary.
If necessary.
That is the third option,
that is
in
the
other
third
words.
Option.
Well, that's why I see these people walking down the hall, got them by the ear, right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
No, it's so important that they take advantage of this. I wish that I'd had some type of tutoring services when I had been in college, because that would have certainly hopefully helped me in my grades and all. So, but that's something to be very proud of. I've never heard of anything like that before, and it's so obvious, and it's right there in the middle of everything. So when they walk by and go to the library, they're seeing the tutoring going right across the hall. So
most of our tutoring locations are right connected to the library, so they cannot
awesome.
miss them.
That is awesome. Okay, tell me something else that you're really proud of and a big time help to the student success.
The student, we also offer this class called College Life, or mm-hmm. College 1000, which is a course specifically designed for students that don't quite make the Compass test scores in order to be going into their program. So they come to my class, and it's a 15-week class. It's a two credit hour class, where the students learn test-taking skills, they learn how to take notes, they learn how to just have the basic skills in order to be a successful college student.
Was it a requirement?
It is a requirement for learning support students, yes.
And learning support students are the ones that did not make high enough on the
Compass test
in order to get in to be program ready.
Right, correct.
And that score changes is different.
Right,
for each
and it depends
program.
on if they're a degree or diploma program. And taking the learning support classes is not a bad thing at all.
I think it's an awesome idea.
Especially if you're going into any kind of the healthcare fields, because you'll sort of have one semester where you will get the skills, where your writing or your reading levels or your math levels. You'll have a 15-week semester so that you can prepare for that college level algebra or that college level English, so that when you go into that class, you'll do a whole lot better.
That's the purpose of it. You know what? If they don't have this program, and if they're not prepared for the program-ready classes, then they're not going to do the best they can. They're not going to get the most out of it. So the more they know, and the better they're prepared for these, they're better off, right?
Right. In the healthcare science classes, which is the classes they take before they go into the RN program or the radiology tech or the clinical lab or any of the degree level, those classes they only did two attempts. So it's very important
Because they get it right the first time.
They get it right the first time.
Right.
Because they only have one other chance in order to get it.
Right, right. Well, I mean, bottom line is we can put everything out there and we've got the services to support them, but it's up to the student to put the effort into it, right?
Yes, it is.
And that part is, we can't help them with that. We can put it out there, but they've got to come up with that effort themselves, right?
Right.
If they don't want to be there, then let's find somebody that does, right?
And that's why the healthcare science programs are competitive selection, because we only want to take the students that are ready to go into those fields.
That are ready to be there and want to do.
Correct, the serious student.
Well, do you think we're doing a good job preparing our students for our graduates for the real world? Do you think we're covering that?
Oh yes, oh yes. Our students, because part of my job also, especially being at the LaGrange campus, we have employers that call, and when Miss Obrey's not available, sometimes they fill the calls to me, and they're wanting qualified students that can be ready to go the first day.
Isn't that exciting?
It's very exciting.
And you're able to, like even in your College 101 classes and all that you're doing, you know these students.
Correct.
And a lot of them just come in there and chat with you, don't they?
Correct.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Because you care, and that's why you do so well at your job.
And LaGrange campus is a large campus. It's one of the larger campuses of the 5, but it also has a small community feel. So you know your students.
Our instructors are so personable too. They really are concerned about their students.
Yes.
All right, well, let's take a break so we can calm down and relax a little bit, and we'll be back in a few minutes, and we will talk some more to Kim, who knows how to get around a lot of things or make sure that things get done properly the first time, and she is amazing, and she's my Miss Fix-It, because I call her all the time and say, okay, what do we do about this? And let me sit there and watch you do your process, and on and on and on. So, but we're just so fortunate to have her on our campus, and we're going to find out more from her in just a few minutes. So please plan on coming back. Welcome back to Tech Savvy. I have Kim Crockett here today, and she is full of lots of good information, and we're going to spend a little time talking about examples that she's experienced with students and student success stories, because she is the coordinator of student success. So she loves talking about what she's worked on and what we're all working toward is working with the students. So tell me, I know that you have a son that is attending West Georgia Tech on the LaGrange campus this semester, but he was here this summer too, wasn't he?
Yes.
And so tell me about his experience. He's so cute too.
We decided, he was accepted to a 4-year school, but because of the cost, we did decide as a family that it would probably be best for him to start and take summer classes at West Georgia Tech. So he did that this summer.
Where was he accepted to?
He was accepted to Georgia Southern in Statesboro. But we decided to let him start for summer semester, and he did fabulous. He took a college algebra class and a history class. And then instead of going on to Statesboro, we also, because he got a job, and there were some other factors there, we decided that he should stay here. He can get up to, I think there's 26 classes in the Gen Ed program that you can take.
General education.
Right, general education that you can take, and they will transfer to 4-year schools. So we had contacted Georgia Southern, and they gave us a list of the classes, and so we decided to stay here in LaGrange for fall semester and spring.
Okay, and so I mean, if he wants to take some more classes in summer, then what he's going to be doing is he's going to be adding up all these classes that he would have normally taken at Southern, but he's home, he's working, he doesn't have to pay near as much. You don't have to worry about the travel expenses, you don't have to worry about housing or anything like that.
Yeah, you have the Hope, when you're taking classes at a technical school, you don't use your Hope scholarship, you use the Hope grant.
Right.
Because there's a technical specialist certificate, and it doesn't even charge it to your scholarship. So he will walk in at Georgia Southern, not even used his Hope scholarship yet.
Oh, that is such a good deal.
So financially, it was a very smart thing to do.
Right, right. He's got quite a few of his classmates that.
There's quite a few of his classmates here. Other parents have made that smart decision to
Right.
at least get that first year under their belt locally, and then they can go to whatever school they like.
Is he taking day classes and night classes, or just night classes, or?
He's taken there in the late afternoon. He gets there around 5:30 and stays till around 8, and then he's got classes on Monday and Tuesday night.
And what is he taking?
I believe he's got a history, he's got American government, he has a speech class, and he's also got an English 1101.
That's a lot. That's a heavy load.
Yeah, that is a heavy load, but it's very manageable. Because at West Georgia Tech we do offer hybrid classes.
Okay.
Which hybrid classes, he spends time in the classroom, and then he completes the rest of his work online.
He graduated from LaGrange.
Correct, LaGrange High School.
And he had, like you say, he has several of his classmates that had graduated with him in class.
Right, and my daughter also took advantage
Right.
of the summer semester.
Tell me about your daughter. What age is she? What's
She
her?
graduated in 2012, and now she attends
Georgia State.
in Atlanta.
What's her major?
Her major is business marketing.
Okay.
She did 1 year at Georgia State, and then she came for the summer and took a whole load. She took 4 classes, which
Like
gave
this past summer?
this past summer. So she's now a semester ahead of herself at Georgia State.
What did she take here that would transfer to Georgia
She
State?
took psychology. Our psychology 1101 transferred. She also took another history. It was a 2111 history, which also transferred. She took public speaking, which was speech 1101, and she took, I believe she took political science was the third one, or the
All right,
fourth
so
one.
she goes to Georgia State. That is one of the hardest schools in the state.
Right.
What
It's
is
a research school.
Are we anywhere comparable to there?
She was very.
Did she have to work?
Shocked. Yes, she did have to work. She had to work very hard because the summer semester at West Georgia Tech
Sure.
is only 8 weeks. So they're getting double the time, double the classwork, in the shortest amount of time. So.
And where our it's $85 per credit hour at West
Correct.
Georgia Tech, it's like double that and triple that at Board of Regents schools,
Yeah,
right?
it's probably about $295. Yes.
When you start adding that up with 15 times 15, which is usually the full load or is it 12 full load credit
12
hour?
credit hours is full load.
That adds up real fast.
Yeah, between her tuition and her housing fees, it's around $7,000 a semester.
Wow.
And if she came to West Georgia Tech, her Hope Grant took care of everything.
Well, that's awesome.
So we were only out of pocket around $235.
That was a very valuable summer.
Yes, it was a very
in
valuable
both of those cases.
And we do plan on doing that again next summer.
She wants to do that. So
Yeah,
she'll get out sooner if
Right.
getting all this done.
She'll get out
Well,
sooner.
that transfer of credit, that just makes a big difference in the length of stay that you're going to be in college, the expenses, the travel expenses. That adds up real fast.
And they'll walk into the university as a sophomore. So. And it had cost us pretty much maybe around $500. That's all.
Well, we were talking about Daniel, your son. If he had taken dual enrollment classes, what would have that?
Yeah, dual enrollment. They've got 2 different dual enrollment programs. Excel and Move On When Ready. It's where high school students can come. Sometimes they're sometimes they're junior year, but most of them are already seniors, where they can take college credit classes such as English 1101, Humanities 1101, or college algebra, and not only get credit at West Georgia Tech that they can transfer, they can get credit at their high school.
So, I mean, it's like dual enrollment. I mean, they're in high school and in college, but they're able to check off some of those classes that they're going to have to take once they graduate from high school.
Right. Last year was pretty much the heavy year where the students first started it. We did have a student that got accepted to Georgia Southern, and she came as a Move On When Ready student. So that means she was full time at West Georgia Tech, and she was able to go to her school, I believe, as I think she was like a middle semester sophomore.
And she just did that in high school. I mean, in high school, she
was still in
dual
high
enrollment.
school.
Well, that right there is like, okay, that cuts out that much time of
Right.
expenses, and plus she's got the credits.
Plus, and the school system helped her for the purchase of books and things.
Well, that was nice. That was good. That helped out the bottom line too. But so what's the process if my child wants to do she's going to graduate end of this year, and so she wants to get some classes out of the way. What does she need to do?
She needs to contact her high school counselor. There's certain qualifications that she has to meet, of course, with her GPA and her course credits in high school. Once she contacts her high school counselor, they send in the paperwork to our high school coordinator, Leigh Cunningham, and then the process is completed and she's able to register.
And I mean, transporting them back and forth, do they drive back?
Yeah, most of them already have their driver's license.
Driver's license and their own cars.
Yeah, we don't offer any kind of transportation.
No transportation. Well, I think that I wish that my children, who are a lot older than yours, had that opportunity, because I could see that that would have helped them out a lot.
And not only are my children, my niece and nephew are there too. So
you've got a bunch
we have a
of
bunch
success stories in your family.
So far, so good.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, see, you're perfect at your job because you coordinate student success, and you've got all these success stories to brag about. So, and I know you've got other people that you see them, and it's like, oh, they graduated. They didn't think they were going to graduate.
Graduation is very special because not only do I attend graduation, I help with the ceremony.
And you sing at it, and you play the piano at it.
But it's really cool to see students that started off in my college success course walk across that stage.
Because you wondered if they were going to make it.
Right.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of them that don't think they can. They're first generation college student, and they've never seen it in their family. And so it's important for them you got to tell them it can be done. It can be done.
Not only do we, we can help teenagers, we have a lot of, especially around this area, there's been a lot of layoffs with the plants. And because of the resources when they apply for their benefits at the Department of Labor,
the unemployment benefits,
they can also choose to come to school through the WIA program.
Right.
So we do have some older learners that are first coming back, and it's really cool to see them walk across stage and take that second career.
What they need, they need the extra skills, the extra tools in their toolbox in order to get a job, or change careers, and find something different. Because apparently the ones that they had before weren't quite good enough.
Because you've had a lot of people work 20 or 15, 20 years in a plant, and then all of a sudden the plant closes, and then what are they going to do?
They've never done anything else.
Never done anything else.
So they just need to beeline it to West Georgia Tech and let us help them.
That's why that they come back to school, and then they're able to get a second career.
Well, it's fun to see the variety of people and age groups and backgrounds, and hear the histories of everybody, because there is a wide variety of people in our classes and in our program, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. But our bottom line is in order to get them successfully completed the college, we want to make sure that they're focused on being successful in their career. And a lot of things that we do, we set it up like a business. You've got to be at school every day. You've got to have a professional behavior, an appearance. You've got to have your initiative, learn about initiative and all those. And I guess that's stuff that you cover in your College 101.
It is, and it's also, that's called work ethic grades. Students that take courses at West Georgia Tech do also get a work ethic grade, and that is attendance, punctuality, and in some classes it's making sure they have all their materials, their uniform is correct, and those kind of things.
Well, that's the first complaint any employer says, is I just want them to understand about the importance of a good work ethic.
Right.
And that's what we're teaching at the college.
Correct.
Well, we're about out of time, and haven't we had a good time?
Yes, we have.
See, will you come back to visit again?
Sure.
And talk about all the fun stuff that we're doing at the school and how successful our students are because of you being the coordinator?
Sure.
That's a good thing.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have any other questions, our email address is www.westgatech.edu. Thank you again for joining us.